Yes. So I forgot to record some of this, but that's cool. Some of the stuff I don't want to put out as much. I don't want so it's cool. So like I said, it's not dependent. People aren't dependent on these. You know, you guys are people out there renting these, paying these monthly subscriptions. They are dependent on those vendors. You guys don't have any dependency. You guys are own everything. Everything you do, you can do on you do yourself. It's so you can make the changes, you can expand or contract, you can add markets, add another buy box if you want to go. If you're doing lending and you're doing doing some kind of service providing like skip tracing or selling lists, or if you're doing flips, you can build this at 2:17 in the morning. You know, you don't need me. You can go and build your own GPT. So everything is robust for you. Yeah, you don't have to worry about like, hey, if we go out of business tomorrow, you guys are still good. You got the GPT, everything that's in there preloaded. It's pretty cool that so everything there. So the RCIC highway is what we built the RCIC systems for. It's the GPT is just this format, whereas that website is kind of like there's different sections of it. And if you guys have seen it, and it has different it's got the dashboards and more the screens. Some people like a visual, and that was why the reason I wanted to do it, because I'm in all these groups where people are showing off, hey, look at this display, and you guys want a good laugh. The only criticism that I really got, somebody was like, you're offering a light versus dark display as a feature, and I'm like, yeah, because some people have readability issues, and some people like a dark. You guys know, you see me, I always use dark. I have to use dark. If I use white, it's really hard on my eyes. So that gives you the choice of going between light and dark. And you guys in the apps and stuff, and in RCIC systems, you can change that. And it may be like in some screens in RCIC systems in the highway, some screens you might want light, some you might want dark. It gives you the total flexibility. It's not one way or the highway for the entire system. So you might want, Capital Passport, maybe dark because you're dealing with financial stuff, and it'll show up a little bit better with dark as white, text, rather than maybe in some other systems, some other things that are more visual. Maybe you have the white with the black. It just depends on your everything's designed to make it readable. And so you guys got the front office and the back office. Like tonight, we're talking more. We generally on Wednesdays we'll talk more front office, which starts at signal source validation, leads, normalization, the market analysis, property analysis, seller intelligence, the contact information, skip tracing, getting to the office. So everything here starts really with the AHJs that we talked about, authority having jurisdiction, going in and doing the distress intelligence, getting the foreclosures, the probates, all the way through the process of market analysis and property analysis, pulling comps, ARV, skip tracing, starting to put the rehab and scope of work together. And then you get into the back office, then you start dealing with after the offer, you put the capital together for Capital Passport, gets into the due diligence and contract control. We have transaction coordination, closing, and there's disposition and asset management. Because some of the tools some of the skills I showed you guys, there's a one I put together for purchase and sale agreement assistant, where you have that tool. It'll actually help you put together a purchase and sale agreement with your sellers or with your buyers. Either way, there's some other ones that'll help you with write LOIs, or other ones for seller carry and subject to. We have the 3-option offer. So you guys know there's 3 different options on there, all cash. There's a couple of different, like it's 3, it's very powerful. I built an app for that 3-option tour. I just remember like the 3-hour tour on Gilligan's Island, when I actually made a parody song for it too. But it's pretty cool. If you guys ever want to get into that, it'll actually help you structure three offers. It'll help you generate the actual offer form. All of these will help you generate the documents. So look at the ones, like I said, starting this weekend. You can look even tonight and see, because I've got some of them up there, probably about half. By the end of the weekend, I'll have all 50 up there, and then you guys can start, you can start adding them. But next week, I'll start putting bundles together. And then, like I said, you get into so then the other thing is, you guys know, we've talked in the past about like prompts and agents. You still have prompts and agents. You can still deploy agents. You still use prompts. Skills, I'm going to explain the differences right now in systems. So a prompt is a one-time instruction. A skill is a repeatable professional operating procedure. So those skills are procedures. They're repeatable. They're they basically don't change unless you go in and, like I said, you go into that editor, you can go and change it. That's the only way it changes it, because you guys know, everybody that's been using it knows if you're off one letter or you're off one word in the prompts that you guys from when you used it previously, it could change it. These things, skills don't change. Skills are consistent. That's how you guys are going to really, you're going to have consistency. You're going to have accuracy across the board in everything you do if you're using skills. Agent is a worker, and you guys know it's a kind of an invisible worker in the AI that uses tools and skills. So now you can even have agents go and use skills. Agents can use skills, prompts can't. So you can have your agents. You can, those 40 agents a month down here, you can put in agent mode. You can have the agents now deploy your skills. So we talked about, like, you run out of 40 agents, right? Well, now if 40 agents can run how many skills? You can run a couple thousand different things at one time. I haven't got that far, but I think I got like 50 different things going on at one time when I was testing it. And it's nothing I built. It's all OpenAI. So it's just using the skills and the agents and the prompts we build to go and OpenAI, all the AI does that. So a prompt might say, analyze this foreclosure lead. A skill determines what information must be verified, which sources should be used, what is known versus assumed, which calculations are required, what risks must be flagged, what should happen next. So that's your skill. And then you get an agent, and then it can review multiple leads, route each lead to the appropriate skills. So it's going to use the skills, produce a ranked action queue, and identify items requiring human judgment. So uploading a skill does not magically make every answer correct. Good results still require current information, reliable sources, appropriate inputs, verification, operator judgment. Prompts ask, skills standardize, agents execute, systems keep everything connected. So we got the skills ecosystem, guys. RCIC now has specialized skills covering the real estate life cycle. One skill should have one clear primary responsibility. Use the ones I have as like your base, kind of like your, I don't know what the right word is, your templates. They're awesome. They're incredible. I spent a lot of time on them. Then build your own, because like I said, you can use another 50. They give you 100. So if you want to use them for other things you do, I mean, that's why I say kind of prioritize what you want, what you're doing, because you don't need some, I don't think anybody needs all 50, put it that way. But I mean, you might need 20, 25, you might need 10. Who knows? It's up to you. You can go and kind of see which ones you want and mix and match, or, like I said, we have bundles, go get like 10. You still have to manually update them, but the list gives you like 10. Then you can name it. You can even add those 10 and go copy and paste them and put them in a project. The sky's the limit. It's unlimited. It's up to you and your imagination and what you think to how this thing builds out for you. Like I said, everything in RCIC is operator driven. It's you. We have 203 people. Everybody is going to be completely different. It's pretty cool. I mean, I love it that way, because not everybody's doing the same thing. Not everybody's living in the same place. Not everybody has the same goals. There's people that are doing it just as, different reasons. Like people learning EMD and CAT may not be in the real estate game for long. It may be like a stopgap. Wholesalers, things like that, everything changes. So it's unlike any other thing that's out there. You don't have a guru, like this is the only thing they know, this is the only thing we do. It's up to you guys what you do. The sky's the limit. Anything you want to do, you can build. And like I said, I'm there to help. So you got the operator launch engine. So this is the front office skill sequence. So you can run a sequence. So look at this sequence right here. You got the operator launch engine. It's going to establish the BuyBox, your markets, your strategy, your capacity, and the operating rules that you set all this up. So like I said, once it's all set up, it happens. This stuff happens 60, 90 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. It doesn't take up much time once you got this all, going and everything set up. Then it's just feeding in the sources and feeding, making adjustments, tweaks. You get this down to like an hour or 2 hours a week, probably. County foreclosure source navigator, like we talked about, it'll run the Delta sweeps. It'll run all going to the HJs, going to Maricopa County, going to Cuyahoga, things like that, going to and pulling all that information. The official foreclosure, auction, tax, sales, surplus sources. The third one in the sequence is a distressed source list builder. It's going to build your opportunity list aligned with your buy box. Foreclosure list normalizer. It's going to clean in the inconsistent county data, make it more usable. The lead intelligence router. It's going to determine what the lead is, what is missing, and which skills should run next. Now RCIC will tell you what's missing and where to go get it. And that's probably one of the best things and this is all, it's just incredible what this thing is doing now. Distress and equity opportunity score. It's got the market reality assessment. We talked about that a lot. Awesome. We're the ones that have that, guys. I'll show you one in a minute. I just did. That's pretty cool. Market reality assessment. Then you got property comp and ARV as analyst. They'll help you with the comps and the ARV. Then you got rehab scope and cost estimator. You can feed in pictures. It'll convert condition information and preliminary scope, budget, and framework. Skip Wizard builds an evidence-backed owner and contact intelligence path using lawful sources. The skill does not replace the operator, gives the operator readable standard. So we go to like market intelligence from national signal to micro market, which is great. You get in the national and the state, the county, the AHJ. You can go to like zip codes and county. Now, these are the 4 layers, guys, of RCIC's geography of the market reality assessment. It'll go to the national and state, broad trends, legal environment, capital conditions, foreclosure direction. You get in the county and AHJ, it's going to be official records, the filing volume, sale procedures, timelines, source reliability, zip code and city, inventory, pricing, rent, demand, transaction activity, investor competition, neighborhood and property, comparable sales, condition, access, buyer pool, block level. This will go down to the block. This will go down to the property, and it'll go all the way up to the state. But you're going to spend most of your time in the county, the zip code, and the neighborhood. And then, it's pretty cool. And then you got the Delta Sweeps, guys. It still runs it. A Delta Sweep looks for what has changed since the previous review, new filings, changed balances, postponed sales, withdrawn or cured cases, new auction dates, status changes, ownership or deed changes, new equity indicators. And then you get the, for workflow. But let me show you guys one I just did, a couple of things that I've worked on. So this is one I ran in 80127, which is Littleton, Colorado. I think I mentioned it before. This is actually my aunt and uncle's house. My uncle still lives here, so I ran it. This will talk about, so you guys saw me posting that I pulled 207 out of my county, right? Out of Jefferson County. You guys seen me post that the last couple of days. So there are 207. This was taken 2 days ago. So it literally will, these are 207 properties that are listed that are going to be going on. They're almost in the final stages of foreclosure. Between now and around Thanksgiving, there's about 100. Colorado is a 110-day process. So there's 207 totals. So what I was able to do, let me scroll up a little bit to where I want to show you guys. So when I pulled 207, so you're not going to run 207 identical full investigations. Guys, you don't want to, but you could. But once you get like that kind of list, and I'll go and show you in Jefferson County how that list was generated. I'm not going to put NEDs on the screen anymore because those of you guys who haven't been on it for a while, we had one video that YouTube took down because I showed somebody's like information. They said this is non-public. I'm like, this is public. This is where I go. I just show people how to go get 100 of them. So this is the process. They call it Mermaid. I don't know why they named it Mermaid, but that's kind of how they do their little charts. So it's going to normalize all the records. It was 9 pages, guys. That's how many. 207 is 9 pages. So it's going to have all the information on there that I've shown you guys in the past. The FC is a foreclosure number, like a case number, NED date, when the sale date, the statuses. It goes through all that, the grantor name, all the names, the entity trust flags, everything, all the property information, the subdivision, the property description. You got reported balance due, source dates, days until the sale, and the urgency band. So you can actually break it down. Like right now, there are 19 NEDs recorded. There's active analysis. There are 5 intent to cure files. There are 1 withdrawn. You guys could just go and grab the whole file without even looking at it on the county's website. Bring it back here, and it'll actually go through it and tell you there's 19 NEDs. You can have it prioritized. Not only prioritize, Guess what? Now you go take, you have 19 of them. What if it pulls up 5 that meet your exact buy box? That's really, and it really does speed things up. You guys are all, speed to lead and all that, but this pulls all that information up in one place, and you can rank it and say, hey, these 5 are going to meet your buy box. If you want more than 5 to look at, you can expand anytime. You can just ask it to change a little bit. Oh, it's stupid. I hate these things. Verify all the statuses before enrichment. It's going to verify everything. So it's kind of cool. It gets to enriching the property records. It's going to run a quick equity screen at every active record. So on every active record, it's going to pull up the equity. It's going to have a conservative as-is value, reported debt, estimated other encumbrances, and disposition costs. And it's going to go through, and like I said, it's going to run through all this stuff. And then it'll cluster the 207 before running MRA. So it's going to group it by zip code, subdivision, property type, major arterial market box, typical construction period, and this is here's from where I searched where my aunt and uncle live, and they bought that house in the 80s. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. So it has the Meadows, which is their neighborhood, Chatfield Bluffs. There's condominiums, Westgate Square. There's townhomes. There's Mountain Foothills property, like I live in Evergreen, Conifer, stuff like that. Lakewood, which is a larger city to the north. It's actually a city where this area is unincorporated. So it's just the county. There's nothing there. Columbine High School is to the east of this area. There's Chatfield High Schools in this area. Arvada is way up north in Jefferson County. And then you got condo and townhome clusters. So you can start breaking it down. You could expand and go, hey, there's 3 other counties. 3 other zip codes. There's one in the south. It's called Roxborough Park, which is Douglas County, not Jefferson, but it's close enough that the same fire district covers it. Then you got 2 other areas that are east that go into actual Littleton, Colorado, and the other one goes into the Columbine area. So you can break it down. You can expand that way if you want to add more. Maybe you're in this area and you like the Meadows, but you want to look in Ken Carl, which is another. It's going to show that on there. So if you're doing virtually, guys, you can start pulling up information and learn about that area. So if, like I said, you guys are you're not in Colorado, you want to go and you're in here and you're asking about what's going on in the Meadows, what's going on in Ken Carl, because it'll pull these up. It'll tell you this. In this area, there were actually other models. So think about this, when you were able to actually go in an area that was like a tract homes, because this was, I remember when they moved when I was a kid. So this is, I think it was 83 or 82 when they bought that. It was built for them. So there's other models that meet that exact home. Well, think about comps, how powerful it is when that comp, literally unless it's like the basement, I don't see a lot of people changing stuff in that neighborhood. You could have them change. I don't know the floor plans and stuff. The only thing would be like they had an unfinished basement. But so think about having a model home. So you have they're all built the same or that model. So you guys can pull comps on that exact model from that situation, that's better because you got the exact same square footage. With obviously, like I said, you can have condition, things like that, but that helps a lot. You can run bulk comps. It's going to score everything. And then you guys can run skip tracing in layers. Here's how you do that. Level 1 is going to be all your active NED records. The actual paperwork that you pull from the counties is going to have your NEDs. You got list pendants if it's non-judicial. Otherwise, you got NEDs, you got NODs. Notice of election demand or notice of default. It'll confirm the vested owner, compare the owner of the foreclosure, grantor, the bank, or the mortgage company, capture the tax mailing address. You're going to have wherever because the county is mailing tax forms. So there's a skip tracing thing right there. That they've been getting tax, they get their tax notices and all that. So it's cool. Then you can go in there and, the tax assessors in some counties may even have their phone numbers. You may not have to go and skip trace. It'll confirm it. Hey, did they just get their taxes last year? They're in foreclosure now. Well, guess what? Now you know that they're there. So it's easier to skip trace when you know they're there. Identify the individual trust, estate, or entity. It'll flag absentee ownership. You can ask it to check for if it's possible in some areas where if it's rented, if it's apartments or something. Sometimes you can actually get information by just doing a search in RCIC and asking it to see if there's any records of it being listed for rent, like Craigslist or anywhere, like those kind of places, rent.com. We can ask it to search those. The viable equity candidates, you got the recorder and the deed. You know, a lot of these counties, the clerk and recorder generally has all this information, and the tax assessor. GIS does, but GIS does mostly do with mapping. If the building department, always check with the building department, whoever has building permits, whoever's AHJ with that, because if they pull the building permit recently, the contractors have to put their contact information, their phone numbers on the permits, because the contractor may not be there when the inspector needs to do the inspection, and they have to call the homeowner. If they have there's a sheriff records and there's other problems. Top opportunities, and then you guys get into the the operator ready. Anybody wants to see the list, I got them too. I can put them in the Facebook group or send them to you. That way, everybody, because some people are interested in looking at this and some people aren't. So I try to kind of make sure I accommodate everybody on this. And for people that are newer or that haven't been around a while, I'm trying to basically do the navigation and show you guys kind of generally where things are, at least at that moment. Keep in mind, OpenAI does move things around. They will put your GPTs and stuff are all organized different now. They're all in, so if you ever can't find anything, just hit me up and I'll tell you probably likely where it is. Because like I said, they're all still in the, here's the GPTs and all that. I used to click on it, my GPTs, and it'd take me up here. If you guys remember that, and I have to come up and pull the GPT off the list. Well, now I can go to all the GPTs and actually just open the GPTs. Like here, I'll just show you guys real quick. Let me pull up one. I can just now go and go into a capital passport. Now all I got to do is go in here. I can send you a link, or I can actually edit. So here I can go and edit. I don't have to go and hunt for it anymore. So guys, keep in mind that, and you can pin them as well. You can pin up to I think you can pin 10. If you pin them, they're there right on your screen. You cannot reorganize projects and stuff, but for your GPTs, you can pin them. For projects, you can pin them. That's what these are. So you can pin the top 10. It's really, really easy to do that, and you remember where everything is at that point. Just want to kind of see where something else I was working on. Yeah. So these are the skills, guys. I mean, I'll show you real quick where I built these, and then so I'm going to be putting bundles together, guys. You can see me already starting to work on it. I'll just show you guys this right now, so you kind of see what I've been working on. So I'm putting these packages, these bundles. Like I said, here's the bundles list. And so I'll actually be able to put these up tomorrow instead of this weekend. So you guys, then I still got to go back and finish putting all the tools up there. But you guys got 10 bundles of 5. So bundle 1 will have your operator intelligence bundle. It'll have your launch engine. That's the operator launch engine is supposed to help it really get you started. It's really for people who want to just really go out there and you go out there and start your, really get your name out there, get your business going. Then you got market reality assessment, lead intelligence router, the intelligence watch list builder. You got investor media engine. This really helps you with writing copy and doing social media and things like that. So you got foreclosure and surplus intelligence. You guys are doing foreclosures. You want bundle 2. You get these 5. That's going to help you with all your foreclosure lists. The normalizer, surplus claim intelligence, and skip wizard is all there. You got a property acquisition intelligence bundle, which has seller discovery motivation profiler, property comp and ARV analyst, rehab scope and cost estimator now, due diligence command center. You get a strategy and offer architecture bundle. Even has an exit strategy decision engine, the offer generator, subject to deal navigator, 3-option tour like we talked about earlier. The capital and closing bundle, capital passport, source intelligence, capital passport, deal match, capital stack, funding and architect, the purchase agreement assistant, like I just told you about, and transaction and close coordinator. Then if you're wholesaling, the RCIC wholesaling operations bundle, give a solar wholesaler the capabilities of an acquisition and disposition team. And then you got the single family strategy bundle, and the multifamily operations bundle, and alternative assets, mobile home parks, self-storage, RV parks, land acquisition, residential assisted living. And then you get the ownership tax and revenue bundle. It'll help you with 1031 exchange, cost segregation, depreciation navigator, RUBS, and property revenue optimization architect. Help you like almost monetize utilities and kind of things like adding like laundry rooms and stuff to multifamily. It'll have the jurisdiction to entity structure navigator, which will help you navigate if you want to keep your LLC in your home state, or if you want to go to Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada. And also joint venture and partnership structure navigator. So if you're working with partners or joint ventures, it'll help you navigate that process. The marketing then has the business marketing skills. I put this together because I'm going to be launching the RCIC systems, but you guys can also have access to it. It'll help you build your funnels, lead magnet builder, landing page builder. Here's your email and SMS drip builder, and ad campaign builder. So you can build one coordinated campaign instead of 5 disconnected pieces of marketing. So these will help you guys get all your marketing and all your everything, promotion, all your ad campaigns. And then Vintel is an automotive project. If you guys are interested in it, though, I do have the Vintel Facebook group. It's free right now and through the end of the year. If you guys are looking at new and used vehicles, or basically people can go there and put what you're looking for, it'll go and find it. And we're trying to get some dealerships and stuff to also, to Kevin's cousin, trying to get vehicles in there, like inventory from like new and used car dealerships and stuff. But you guys can go through there and do, there's market valuation. There's a vehicle identity verifier. And I also have claims intelligence. Just, this is kind of something cool I'm working on with another one of our operators who's in our group who's got some automotive background. Claims intelligence is what happens like if somebody's in a total loss, maybe a hailstorm or maybe an accident, and the insurance company only wants to give them $10,000. The car's worth $17,000. The claims intelligence, its diminished value, will go through and help justify, like trying to go back to the adjusters and go, no, I need 17,000. It'll help like generate all that information that car is worth 17,000 and not 10,000. So that's kind of cool, just to show you guys that. Skill Creator, it's a standalone system tool. So you guys want to use Skill, if you want to do your own, it'll help you actually, you can make skills that way in your own prompt bar. So you can go to skills, through plugins and go to the editor, but you can also use Skill Creator and it'll just automatically load. It's cool. You can make the thing. It might take 5 minutes. It could take 3 minutes to make the skill, and then it'll load it and build it for you right there, and it'll be in your system. So if you use Skill Creator, so it's really, really most of what we're going to talk about tonight, organized wise. Trying to think of anything else I want to show you guys, but there's so much to what's going on recently that I really just encourage everybody to kind of just start getting the skills out of the Facebook group, looking at the bundles. I'll post this list in the Facebook group so you guys can go through and start looking at it. And then see if there's any skills you want. If you want help with like your first skill, let me know and I'll try to, we can jump on the messenger or whatever. We can do a Zoom if we have to help you start building your own, because these will all help you. These are going to be phenomenal for you. But like I said, if you're really in a specific area, you want to have a little bit more control over your own, then you can build it that way. It's totally cool that way. I'll show you a couple things real quick while we're still on for about 8 more minutes. Expli is cool. We found that, Kevin. I looked at that. We'll be looking at it over the weekend. You can send up to 1,000 emails for like $30, and they give everybody like a free trial. It's pretty cool. We're looking at it. We're going to test it. We're going to run it before we ever offer it. Because it wouldn't be through us. It's just a third party thing. But you send them, they go clean. It goes into they got over. It's like ridiculous amount. You guys can go look at it. It's explee.com, explee.com. You guys can
basically that comes in handy whenever you're producing reports and stuff like that for real estate brokers. And then you get onto something like Danny Skelly's program. He's got a situation where it's called Agents Gather, where he's trying to get everybody that's in the industry in there. as far as professional real estate brokers are concerned. If you were to put something like that together, you could produce reports on like what Nate's been showing you for other people and actually make a pretty good living doing that without even having to get into real estate as a whole. So these are some of the other things that are on the side that actually can make you money with the same program.
What we're trying to do is also verify everything before ever a third party. That way we test it and we go see how it works. And then, that way before you guys, because we can say, hey, this thing works, because you guys know there's a lot of issues with SMS, with texting and emailing and calling. And now it's lucrative enough if you violate something that lawyers are taking these cases on contingency. So we want to make sure. That's why I'm not getting into dialers like you guys, see on these groups. And I don't know, sometimes, like I said, there is some frustration on my part now going into some of these groups and promoting, because you guys probably see me in there a lot, or how you guys met me in groups. It's like with everybody, like, I built this, I built that, I built a scraper. People are asking, do you have a dialer? You guys know. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm speaking of the flyer in these cases. You guys see that. I've always wanted to stay away from the dialer and stuff, from generating our own, because of that kind of situation. Like, we can do everything right up to that point. Like, you can use MailChimp. You guys know there's in the plugins the same way you go to Skills, you guys can go to MailChimp. You can go just like you go to Gmail. I mean, Spotify and Uber Eats are there. I don't know why people need Spotify and Uber Eats in their AI, but they're there. It's pretty, so that's a nutshell. Does anybody have any questions? And I'll go back to the chat. I know sometimes I don't see any chat questions. Sometimes I know, again, I get ahead of that. I'll be able to unmute guys, unmute anybody else's questions after I do this. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything like that? Let me just kind of run down the group. Now, this is your first time here. Do you want to kind of just let everybody know the group? You're obviously Steve's partner, what you and Steve are doing, because I know Steve's been on a couple of times.
So basically what Steve and I are doing, he has me, we wholesale as a whole, but he also buys mobile home parks, self-storages, and like land here and there. But we mainly are trying to wholesale. And what he was telling me was that you had this tool that does all the amazing things, and now that I see how it works, my question was, how accurate was the skip tracing? Because I always tell him the name of the game, is good data at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
So
and Skip Wizard is more. I mean, like I said, we've evolved. We've got Skip Wizard also. I started working with that with the RCIC systems with we built in Anthropic, because a lot of people in the group can tell you that it's a little, whoever used it, it's a lot more accurate there, because I built something called, when you hear about scraper, I said I don't want to scrape, I want to strip mine, and it goes deeper because it's using API. An API is the search process. And when we tell people an API, generally you got to go, somebody's got to go get the API. You deposit like $50. I deposited $50 in May, and I'm just now, it's lasted through this. I'm down to like my last like $5, but it'll last. APIs, the searches, they charge you 2 cents to 5 cents. So those API are using AI to go out there and search it. And now we got Skip Wizard in here, and I'll make sure I told Steve, when you guys are up and you got core figured out, and if you need core, because we always do like a +1. Since you're his partner, I'll get you I can get you your own core.
okay.
So we'll that way you have your own. Then you just need GPT. If you guys are running into business, and you guys probably want to get a business account as well, you have your own GPT account separately.
Yeah.
Because I always recommend, then you guys can decide because when he was talking about adding wholesalers and adding other people, that's something that I told him he'll have to work on. I'll work with him on getting him on the RCIC side. I just don't have any, obviously, control over OpenAI. The accuracy in everything we do in RCIC, accuracy really comes down to the input. The more detailed you guys are on the buy boxes, and the more information and the markets and all that, the more accurate it's going to be. I'm going to say we try to also use low-hanging fruit, meaning I'm showing you guys how to go to the county, because the counties where people are their foreclosure filings, there were 227,548 foreclosure filings in the first 6 months of 2026. Those filings are generally, some cases they've been served, like legal paperwork. Sometimes they've been mailed. Sometimes a deputy has served them. They have legal paperwork. They're on the clock. It just depends on how long for which state. That's, there's obviously NEDs and judicial versus non-judicial disclosure. I like non-judicial, obviously. And then a lot of that information that you would skip trace is actually in those reports. Like literally you get them from the county, you pull up it's really cool that way. Actually, let me go ahead let me show this because I know a couple of you are on here for the first time. Let me try to pull one up real quick. Just have to go to my right project because I know I can show you. I think I showed Steve, but
That's good.
let me get to where it's at. I'm gonna run my DIU. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to Jefferson County because it's my home county. So when you go into it, like I said, it's the MRAs. I mean, all the stuff that we talked about, like going and pulling these AHJs, we call them authority having jurisdiction, meaning that is the county clerk or the sheriff or the court, the probate court or whatever, is the authority having jurisdiction. It's an actual term from real, the codes, building code, fire code, things like that. Courts are obviously authorities. So we get in this. This is one I did in my hometown, Waukene Park. Danny's office used to be like right here, and I did a whole MRA on that because this neighborhood you guys see in the hillsides,
Yeah.
the homes are cheaper because it's in the hillside. This is in Colorado, about 20 minutes west of Denver, and the homes on the hillside could be the exact same, almost the exact same. They're all different, but they'll be lesser because they're on the hillside. There's less land, and their land goes up the hill. Or down here in the valley, the homes are more expensive. So I did a whole study, and I can put it in I think I did put it in the Facebook groups so people can see what I generated to show you guys just how deep you can go. Here's all what I was showing you guys. So when you pull up this information, I go and ask it for the off ramps. We've talked about the highway. You want to think about it as a interstate highway. Instead of the off ramps being the hotels, gas stations, restaurants, it's going to the counties, pulling the information. The next one's a tool store. The next stop, that's like going to pull your comps, your ARV. You got another one for like your skip tracing. You got 7 or 8 stops. So think about the off ramp for this. I'm going to go to. I got in my own county. Let me see. Make sure I pull the right one. There's a couple of different links they give you on some of these cases. So here you can go search by foreclosure number, the name of the people, address. You can do general searches. I was trying to make sure I'm in the right one. Okay, then I have to do the stop share and I'll reshare just to make sure everybody can see it. So there you still have to do like the captchas and the hey, I'm a human. You can't, it won't go through paywalls. So I go accept. So here's my county, right? I can go through and, basically I can go through a net date range. I can go on how many foreclosures have been filed in Jefferson County, Colorado this month, or you can set obviously the dates. You can go on their foreclosure numbers because when you run these Delta sweeps, it's going to give you, it may have 10, 12 properties on that, but it puts it on your screen. What you do with those, and it walks you through those processes in core, like I was showing you, everybody. When you go and you set those Delta sweeps, you can have it come on your canvas. Your canvas is your screen. That's a term from OpenAI. Or you can have it even go to Gmail. You can set up Gmail. It actually walks you through the process in plugins. But so you can actually have like, hey, it tells you, hey, Jefferson County pulled their list. They published the new list today. It's, they generally do it on Thursday morning, so I might have a fresh one tomorrow. But they will tell you on an email. You click on it, it'll open that in your canvas. And you can then sometimes you'll have the actual foreclosures in there. You'll have them on, so you can go through and there might be 10 or 12, there might be 5. It'll rank them. It's pretty cool that way. So I might go here, look at the NED date range. Let me see real quick on the. So if I just want to see how many let's see just how many in August so far. I'll go through yesterday. I hit search. So there I go. I got 20, how many I got? 20, 35. So what you could do is you could actually just copy and paste it with your, you could right click and just copy and paste it, go back. The on ramp is just back to my icon here. back to GPT and I, go back to I can put it in a project. I can just put it on my canvas and I can have it go through, search it and see, with all the information it has, it can then, rank it, give me 5 or 10 properties that meet what the buy box is. Or I can go in here and I can actually pull some information. So let me look. I'm trying to see, because this is my county where I live, so I like to sometimes maybe know an area.
Okay.
I actually have pulled 2 people in my hometown, which I'm probably not going to pull Evergreen anymore because I actually know 2 people that are in foreclosure now. And I'm like, oh, I really don't want to know that. So this will show you the property, the address. I'm not going to show this long because I don't want to get this taken down by YouTube for showing the information. I'm just going to really quick show you the kind of information you get. So you can go and pull the documents. You want the NED, and I'll just go and click on that. So I can show you guys what that in a minute. It's got the sale information, when the sale is, the sale is, it's 110 days in Colorado, so December 3rd. So you got the information for that. Any second or third liens. Here's the publications, they have to publish it twice. The mailings, so there's all the mailings of the people, and you might find 2 or 3 addresses on there. This will help in skip tracing as well if you're not able to find it. But a couple of things that are unique. You can go pull this. Not only does the lender information, right? Here's the lender's attorney. And you'll see if you're working in certain areas a lot, like you have a territory, you're working a lot, you'll see some of the same law firms. This one in Lakewood, Colorado, which I actually used to have my office on Union Boulevard when I had my construction company like 8 years ago. You can contact a lawyer directly and make an offer if you want. You have to file a number and all that stuff. So that's kind of cool. The deed, there's not going to be information yet at this point. The cure, when their intent to cure, when their cure deadline is, the basics. So guess what? Now here's the loan information, the principal balance, the outstanding principal, the interest rate, the interest type, who holds it, the grantee, and who the grantor is. You got all that information here. You got the address. So I can go through now and I can go back and make sure I pull the right one. So I'll just go ahead and right click this one. And I'm going to show it real quick because I'm not, like I said, I don't want to get this. They pulled one down because they said I showed some information that was personal. And I'm trying to not shame people. It's already hard enough. But you think about this also as these people are motivated. Why? They got served. You're motivated when you're gonna lose your house. This isn't like in pre-foreclosure where they're motivated, and you can go and now you can go to their lawyer, you can go their lender or the lender's attorney. So what I would do is I would go through here real quick, and I will just ask it. There's I'm putting that information on there, and let me try to pull the NAD. Go to photos and files. Let me see if I get the NAD. Should have, there it is. So I'll put the NAD on there right now. And I'll push the send prompt. So it's going to read that NAD. So just sit there and watch, you want to sit there and watch it for like a minute. Now you could do 100 of them. You can go through that whole list. Like I said, I pulled 207. Guess what I did with that 207 that I just told you guys about? I processed that in 28 minutes, including some skip tracing. Because it doesn't do all 207 because you don't want to do that many. At a 207, if you got your buy box and all that stuff, you should be able to take that 200. I don't have a buy box because I'm showing you guys how to do things, and otherwise I'd have thousands. It'd be a lot more stuff than I need. So I try to show you guys how to do this. But it's going to put all that information for the NED. Then it's going to come up, here's your verified facts. There's nothing independently verified yet. It's going to have the urgency assessment, the current date, the reported sale date, the reported time, it's 99 days, unverified and verification status. So there's plenty of time for proper research and seller discovery on here. The meaning, there's 505,755.71. It helps you go through that and starts telling what's going on. It makes recommendations. Here you go. Here's the skills sequence. Guess what? Now you could go in and just run the skill sequence. If you got those skills installed, that we've been talking about, guess what? You can run all 5 of these right now. County foreclosure source navigator. You can open it and do the property and deed intelligence. You can go and do the property comp and ARV analyst, market reality assessment. Then you can do the skip wizard and the seller. It's going to give you the next 5 actions, and then it's going to give you all the pretty much all the information it's working. So let me go ahead just real quick and show you guys how to start this skill sequence. We're not going to go through the full thing because, like I said, I don't want to put anything that could shame people on it. Because, like I said, I'm kind of sensitive to that. I really try to, I really think we got a lot of good people that aren't like a lot of wholesalers, people that go in and they don't care. Like, these are still people that are, they could just have lost a job or somebody's sick and be in foreclosure or something. So I'll go through and I'm just going to run it. And I'm going to have it just initiate the skills just to show you guys what it does. So when you have these skills installed, now instead of having to go and prompt, and I think Bill and Fred, you guys remember, and Doris, remember when we had to do a lot of this, I was showing you guys how to do it like manually. Now you can almost do this, it's almost automatic. I mean, you reduce the keystrokes, you reduce the prompts. It's still, it'll tell you everything. The funniest thing is when it talks to itself, and then sometimes you'll even get in an argument with itself. It's pretty funny. Sometimes it's really entertaining.
Okay, so basically it just pulls from the county records
Yeah.
and all
And
that.
then it'll go through any of the public search information, and it'll go through. It'll still go to Zillow and Redfin and all that, even though I know a lot of real estate investors don't like those. But think about when you're running like ARV and comps, you can pull all the comps in that area. Like I was showing you earlier with my aunt and uncle's house in that neighborhood, I could pull like 5 exact models of that home because there's probably 5 or 6 different models of different homes in that, different floor plans. And
Yeah.
you could, so think about how accurate your comps are if you're pulling from sales. If there are sales, obviously in a community like that where they live, I forget how many. There's a lot of homes in that area that would
Okay.
pop in at kind of the same time. So you could probably pull. You could probably in some areas get if they're tract homes and they're developments, unlike custom homes like where I was showing you guys in Evergreen. You may not be able to get an exact duplicate, of a model home. That's usually because if you're able to do that, your comps are going to be a lot more accurate. Like I said, the key thing is the more information you put in your buy box and you put in your markets, the more it increases the accuracy. And anybody that's been using it, I think Fred, you've been using it a lot before you went on your trip. I know I still want to get Eric on it because Eric was the one who I talked about on the Investor Fuel. And it wasn't 10,000. I do have to correct that. It was 1,000. I for some reason I said 10,000 on that interview, but he pulled 1,000. He got all the properties down within 12 minutes and skip traced them. And then he took there was 10, and then he got it down to like 5, and he went to manually underwrite them. Those 5 he had RCIC do it, and then he went to do his own manual underwriting. It took him like 2 hours just because he's having to do it hit by hand. He reported back it was 97% accurate.
Oh, okay.
Everything that I go out and tell people is what the feedback that I'm getting from all of you. Like the only complaint I've gotten is it's addictive. And anything when it goes for you, and it goes. And I've told Steve this. If you guys get like you're in it and you get stuck, I'm in Denver, so right now it's 6:11. If you guys hit me between 8 o'clock my time and about 11:30, I'm live on my laptop. I can send me a screenshot or copy and paste what it's saying on Messenger to me. And I'll make sure you have my message, me on Messenger as well. That way I can fix it usually within seconds on the spot. And then in the
Okay.
afternoon, I can do Zooms. Dude, it's like pretty cool. We've done a lot of tweaking that way. And everybody
Okay.
can tell you, dude, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. And I tell people when I'm not going to be, football season and stuff, I'll go watch a few, when I watch football games or something. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
don't hit me up. Don't worry, go ahead and hit me up. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's Sunday afternoon. I probably won't get back to you until the evening.
No, yeah, I get that. Okay, so yeah, so basically it essentially from what I'm gathering, just
Yep.
get get the work that you would need to get done down to a science and give you enough
Yeah, I
information.
mean, one of our people came in and said, what used to take me, well, that was you, Fred, wasn't it? That said, what used to take me hours takes minutes. I think, yeah, that was you. Wasn't that you, Fred? I think that said that. Yeah, we've got some really good feedback from everybody. So, like I said, and
Okay.
I try to make sure you guys are. I'll make sure you got the in the Facebook groups. There's two of them. I know Steve's already in both of them. That way, everybody kind of gets to. Yeah, you can meet everybody as well. We always like to try to also twice at least on each session try to just introduce everybody and let everybody know. If you guys need help or if you got properties and stuff, we want people to work together. But this group is unique. Not everybody does the same thing. It's not so focused. So you're not going to come in, it's all wholesalers. So, but there's some pros and cons to that, mostly pros, because if you're looking to get into something in the future, you could probably, start working with people now. But this is, like I said, it's showing right now, it's working the skills.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it'll
no,
take,
I'll definitely be using this. I'll definitely be using this because my whole thing is, I always tell Steve, my issue is I just want to focus on the people. And I know this is kind of a little bit unrealistic, but it's more statistical in my head. I
yeah,
only want to truly focus on motivated people. That way we're not sitting here wasting time, or we're sitting here wasting time underwriting deals, even with the new software, even with this software. I don't want to sit here and like be putting all the stuff into it just for them to be like, okay, we underrated, we did this, we did that, and then they still be like, still no, or they just give you a little runaround when whoever you call. So if what you're saying is that it can filter out the nonsense and just get you down to the point of the people who want to be motivated and want to sell, I
if
can
you
see
want
why
to,
it's solid.
you don't have to go there and you're not hitting them up while they're, I mean, when these NEDs, these are listed, like the market guides that I give you guys, like we can do them any county, but after that you can generate your own just by putting them in. You got the plus, you add the PDF and you say, hey, duplicate this for whatever market and zip code. Always think county and zip code. As long as you put
Okay.
county and zip code, it'll duplicate it. You can go nationally, it's just it will take a time. You can do it county and zip code. You can ask it to make heat maps. You can ask it to run market reality assessment. There's things that take a little bit more time while you're setting it up. We always tell now I'm telling people, do it over 7 days or whatever. It gives you a structure. It tells you what to do in each of those 7 days. Eventually, within 7 to probably 30 days, it becomes predictive. It starts knowing you. It
Right.
knows you, it knows what you're doing. When it goes predictive, you're going to start getting things put out that, holy crap, I didn't think about that.
Right.
It's gonna tell you what you're missing on things,
Okay.
help you, and then you can tighten things up. You can always make adjustments and tweaks. You don't need to be like on a prop tech, where you got to contact your advisor or your, account rep at PropStream or whatever to make adjustments. You make adjustments at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're doing, flips and you see a short-term rental opportunity, go in and ask him for the short-term rental stuff. It'll help you learn. You can learn it in learning mode. It'll teach you everything, and you can go and actually put it to use. You can put any. You see, this thing will do any real estate asset class, any strategy. It literally is unlimited. If you can think about something, you can build onto it. You can build your own GPT as well. And I'll help. And I told Steve I'd help. You guys do that for what you guys are doing. Where you have your own GPT and you guys can give it to all the people that you work with in your organization, however you want. And you build it and you can power it up. I've got 2,000. I have in each of these GPTs and this one, the main core, I have 20 PDFs and it probably totals, tell me what do you think, about 2,000 pages of information that I trained it with. So there's a lot of information. I put almost 12,000 pages total into everything we built of material going back 8 years. I've got a database, 1,382 lenders in Capital Passport. So it all
Okay.
works. It's pretty cool that way. I mean, like I said, if you got questions, if you need, once you got it down, I mean, at first you're like, wow, this is a lot. Once you got it down, dude, and probably you play with it a little bit, you're gonna be like, I want to take this. What can I do with it now? Then build it your way. It's just like Burger King, man. Have it your way. Exactly how you want to do it. Tweak it, and I'll help you do it. And then you have the freedom to take anything that's in the part of RCIC and make it your own and build it your way. So it does everything you want it to do, how you want it to do it. It responds to you the way you want to do it. It's like your system. You own it. I don't own it. I don't own it. You guys own it.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
So like I said, man, we're a very fun group to. I mean, we have a good time. Sometimes we take the recording off and we talk about other things for like, especially when Ari's on. Yeah, no, we're very, and like hit me up anytime. And if you need introductions, I try to, people are kind of doing things together, maybe similar, maybe can work together. I try to just connect people on Messenger. And then when I know both people are talking, I drop out of the conversation because I want everybody to, this is a group where everybody really, dude, we've never had a conflict. We've never had anything. It's awesome. People love, people come out and tell, Ginger's not on right now because she's doing her church practice. You get to know people. You get to like, because you'll run into people you see in the group in different Facebook groups.
Mm-hmm.
It's unlike anything else, and it's not guru driven. Like I literally want you guys to ask questions.
It's authentic. It's all. Yeah.
Now I'm going to go ahead and I was going to show you guys one thing in the real quick since you're kind of how learning mode works. So you got the core. That's what you'll get. I'll send you the link. I already sent it to Steve, but you guys can go into, like I said, these three are different variations of setting up your BuyBox to begin with. You don't really even have to do this. You want to just go ahead and go through all four of these buttons when you first get it, at least so you understand, learn how things navigate. But the primary one in this one's change RCIC mode. The only two prompts are switch to whatever mode. It says you right here, switch to operator mode, switch to wholesaling mode. You can ask it what it does. And then the other one's return to default. So here I'm going to type in these only two commands, switch to and return to. Switch to learning mode. And it's going to switch to learning, and we're putting it in everything. Learning mode will teach you anything you want to know. At your level, you can ask it to give you a very basic, like run, like from first grade, all the way up to like MIT version. However you learn the best, you tell it how you want to learn it. It's going to teach you it's going to cater it to you. So this was great about it. It's going to give you everything, plain English breakdowns, glossaries, all the training plans. I mean, think about all the stuff it'll do. So you can go in and say, hey, if you guys, it'll teach you how to set you guys' organization up. And then you guys want to, switch to, now you want to switch to lender mode. Lender mode is going to think like a lender. It's going to be first like a private money lender, a hard money lender. Then it also can think like a family office. It can think like a hedge fund. It's thinking like them. So when you're structuring your deal, think about how powerful that is. It'll ask you the same questions and stuff a lender will do. So you can go down rabbit holes. I'm not saying it wastes time. I know you said you don't like to waste time, but it can go down rabbit holes. You just kind of got to guide it and kind of, you learn it after about 30 days of how to direct things. Skills basically keep everything consistent though.
Okay, understood. All right.
And you're going to ask anything. What should I do for my prompt skills and agents? It'll walk you through how to structure it all and how to set up the agents and how to get the agents to use skills. Dude, it's doing some stuff that I'm like, no, what'd you say, Kevin, on that? It's like, it's going so fast that it's hard. I'm like we weren't doing skills 3 weeks ago. And these skills are just incredible at what they're doing, what they're able to help you guys do. Because we were doing a lot of this, like I was showing people how to set all this up in projects and stuff. And it's not like anything is obsolete that we're just showing people, because you guys can use it if that's what you want to use. If you want to use skills, if you want to use projects like and you can see videos on our YouTube channel. However you want to do it, you can do it. It's yours. Whatever makes it easier for you, it's yours. It's how, I just can't put into words how incredibly powerful this is. I've got almost 2,000 hours into it.
Okay, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm excited to use it.
No, I almost sound like I'm selling it to you, but I've got, let me run down the list real quick to everybody. Hey, Bill, what's going on? I know you said hi earlier. All right. Are you still driving? Cool.
I'm still driving.
Yeah, cool. We need to set up a one-on-one.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, we can set up a one-on-one whenever you need one, so I can go over all these changes for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking thinking after the holiday, I should have some cycles, and I'll try to do some work over the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like I
A
said,
long
we
weekend.
set up on, because we'll build some for Northern California for different markets. We can build some skills, and those should help you navigate, those kind of areas that you're dealing with. They're not as bad as Illinois. I was just in Cook County, and I'm almost like trying to tell people don't do any business in Cook County. Cool. Adonis, what's going on?
Hey man, not much. Just soaking it all in as usual.
Cool.
I've been using the GPT core to do a lot of the things that you were showing, and I'm just looking to upgrade and level up and move on to the different API stuff as soon as I can.
Yeah, it's there. Like I've told people who have those, we generate the access key. If you're using the RCIC systems like the highway and the apps, the apps aren't going to change, but the highway, nothing will change for login. And it assured me that it's looking like that. Like I said, what I can do now with that compared to going over and me having to add stuff manually is I can update it on the fly, just like everything here in core and stuff. So I can make it even more powerful for you guys. Over there, I'm having, and it's gonna, like I said, everything's gonna stay the same. It's just now you've got OpenAI and Anthropic running that. So you got both major AI companies running the same, thing for you guys. And you can do API for both. I mean, it gives everybody total flexibility and your choice on how you want to do things. Some things are better with OpenAI, some things are better with Anthropic. Total flexibility. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can set up your one-on-one too as well. Doris, what's going on? And then I'll get to Fred, and then we'll knock off for the night. Hey, Doris.
Hey, how everybody doing?
Oh, I was gonna say,
Hi,
hey,
Kev.
Nia, are you in Pennsylvania as well?
Who's in Pennsylvania?
Are you? Okay.
Me? I'm in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
Doris is in Pennsylvania.
Who's in Pennsylvania beside me?
Well, Steve, who you met.
I am.
Yeah. And Nair, he's partnered with Steve from Pennsylvania that you met on the last Zoom.
The one in Scranton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nair, Doris is you're from Harrisburg, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll try to hook you guys all up. I know they met last week, but I'll try to hook you, because you guys could probably do some deals together and stuff.
That would be great.
Yeah, we're trying to put as much competition against you, Doris, as we possibly can.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
All right. Cool. Hey, Fred, what's going on?
Oh, good, man.
I need to do another one-on-one so I can get you all caught up.
Yeah. I realized after seeing this, man, I never even heard of the skills stuff before, so that's all new.
3 weeks ago, I didn't either. I mean, I heard about it, like people were talking about it, and I was like, once I'm in there now, well, you just saw, like now you can run, you can run like 10 different things at one time.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I was just getting on the Facebook page trying to see what all the download some of the new stuff that's on there, and that'll be my goal the rest of the week, trying to get some of that up and going. And
I'll add that in the morning. I'll add that list of the 50 that I just showed you guys, the bundles, and then I'll finish out adding all the ones, because that's I forgot that I did bundles. I was kind of not paying attention when it was working on that for me. So I'll be able to add all that stuff, and then you guys can go in there and do those bundles. It's just the two ways of showing it: adding those zips or adding for the editor. Like it still has to be manually, but I would recommend people pull, get 2 or 3 of the 5 packs or whatever. Like I said, you still got to do them manually, but that way you start out with what you need, and then you can add more later, and then you can build your own. And like I said, we build our own. I'll show everybody kind of more how to do that, because you might want some that are very specific to your market, things like that. Because it's almost automation.
no, it's crazy, especially once you get it all tied together. It's man, it's really neat.
Yeah,
It's really neat.
yeah. And then everybody tomorrow night, I'll go a little bit over Gumroad, the affiliate program for everybody. If anybody wants to go out there, and Gumroad pays you directly, so they pay 25%. So anything we have in there, yeah. If you go and recommend something, you have your own link. They pay you directly, 25%.
I've not heard of that either.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned a few times, I think, because we've been testing it, that we want to, we got our first payout from Gumroad tomorrow. They have minimums and we had to meet the minimum. So it's like, they do a payout like every 2 weeks. Instead of like, anything else, other things you can get paid on like the same day. But yeah, they do it every 2 weeks. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll go over Gumroad a little bit and how that works. And Ginger's in it, a few other people. I think Adonis, I sent something to you on that. You go there and you set up your own link and it generates it automatically. The thing I have to do on there is I have to work on, that'll be a project in September, working on more like making it look more like a catalog. And it'll do that, but I've got to do some work on on the AI. It'll actually do it for me. And then it'll make it look really good. And then people can go there and get whatever. They download it. So if somebody wants core, they want to get a GPTs, it'll actually have the pack there that has the links, and all the onboarding stuff will be in like a zip file, so they get access to that right away. So they won't have to go back, they won't have to go through me on that, which is nice. So it basically tries to make it a little bit more organized, I think, in a good way. But yeah, cool. Everybody, appreciate everybody's time tonight. We'll be on tomorrow night at 5:00, at the same time, 5 p.m. Denver time. Anybody needs a one-on-one, hit me up on
Appreciate
Messenger.
it,
Yeah, no problem. Hit me up on Messenger and we'll get you guys set up with one-on-one.
Okay.
Nate. Will
Okay.
do.
Cool. All right.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.